We started Magictel in 2012, and we started with a different stuff to do in that, and then later we got into the retail application distribution in Magictel in year 2014. And currently what we are doing in Magictel is we are trying to give the application distribution through an offline mode. In that we go and tie up with a lot of the shopkeepers. Most of them are mom and pop shopkeepers. And we have tied up with around 50,000 shops, mostly centered in North India, but we are also present in West and East India. And there we have people, those are working with us. They download the applications on our behalf and give it to the consumer. And while giving it to the consumer, they also give some brief about what that application really do for them. In India, still there are a lot of consumers, they are a first time smartphone users. So they have not used the smartphone before, so they don't know what type of application they really need it on their phone. So they need some sort of an education that what type of application really work for them. And then how does it work? So it's a sort of an education plus distribution channel which we have created to give it to the consumer. So as an example, just to give you a feeling that, let's say you want to have an e-commerce application, but you may not know that how to go on a Play Store and download one e-commerce application, but because to do an e-commerce application download through Play Store, you need a Google account. And to have a Google account, you need a Gmail ID. So I think all that needs a lot of stuff to do before you get into an application and download it from there. And even if you have all those things, you also need a internet connection on your phone, which should be of enough bandwidth which can download that 30-40 MB applications over the internet on the phone. So that is not so easy and possible for each and every consumer as of today in India. So we are more B2B, and we are, but for our customers, so let's say the application companies are our customers and we are serving them through the shopkeepers. So on other end also we have a B2B, here also we are B2B, but for the application companies, the end user do matter. So eventually you can say it's B2B2C like that, but for us the business model finishes at B2B end. We do work with e-commerce companies, we do with music streaming companies, we do work with browser companies, we work with payment companies, we work with some app store also. So we work with multiple companies, but it's difficult for me to name any specific one on the press without taking consent from them. It's 2012, but I personally started working on mobile phone from 1998. Okay, so 1998 Windows launched a phone called Windows CE, and at that time there was a Palm OS, which was again another OS. So I started working on mobile from 1998. So for me, what you're saying is new. I've been in mobile industry for now 18 years. So what is going to happen and what is happening, at least we have some idea being in the system. So I think what you're seeing now we could have seen earlier. That's why we are into that. Yeah. I started my entrepreneurship with MoMagic in 2011. Prior to start MoMagic, I was working in a company called MediaTek. MediaTek is a chipset company which is like a CPU for mobile phone. I headed their South Asia market for many years before starting MoMagic. So my angel investors were MediaTek in MoMagic. And later in last year we raised fund in MoMagic from Foxconn also. So we have done, as you can see, Series A from Foxconn last year in MoMagic, but in Magictel so far we have not raised any funding. MoMagic is a separate entity and Magictel is a subsidiary of MoMagic. We are open for fund, but we are not open for financial investors. We are more open for strategic investors. And when we call it as a strategic investor, as an example, if there is a venture capitalist who has invested in, let's say, 20 application companies, and they feel that if they invest in us, they can give a platform for those application companies to give distribution through us, we are interested in them. Similarly, if any application company feels that we can give them a better distribution than any other channel, we are open to take investment from them also. But broadly, we are looking for investments from a strategic angle who can give them money plus business, not only money. Variable number, so it goes from 5 to 8 depending on the situation. So sometimes, some days it goes 5, sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 10. So it's not a fixed number, but broadly it goes from 5 to 10 at a time. So it's possible that I have tied up with one app today, then it gets like that campaign is over after 2 weeks, then I get another one like that. So far we've worked probably 25 to 30 application companies already in last 2.5 years.
Can you explain?
So generally there are two types of business models in that. One is, mostly so far what happened is a lot of these application companies has raised fund to increase their user base. So we worked with most of them where we are taking money from the application company and giving it to the shopkeeper. So the application company gave us an X money, and part of the X money we pass it to the shopkeeper. That was one business model. Another business model which we have worked upon and which we are trying to make it more robust is we also distribute some of the applications. Those are finally get consumed by the users. So then the user will buy it, and at that time we will generate revenue. So those are, right now we are not making any money till user doesn't do any purchase on that. So it's more like a revenue share model on that. So we do work on both the models where we distribute it at cost, or we also do revenue share with the application company. I can give you a range. Probably if it's a 10 rupee to 25 rupee is a range for per application distribution. It depends on numbers, so it can be 50%, it can be 80% also. So it's difficult for, see again, it goes from an application to application, and how many application I have at one point in time. It also depends on a volume. So if one shopkeeper do a bigger volume, we give them a better retainership and all that. So there are a lot of, because sales is a sales. So you need to do a lot of sales pitch, you need to come up with a lot of sales schemes to ensure that those shopkeepers will stay associated with you. It's both. We cannot rely on any one of them. The distribution model gave us some initial cash, and the revenue share model gave us a continuous cash, and both are required actually. So now we are trying to see that can we expand first in the whole India, because right now we are not focused in the whole of India. We feel that we can go at least 3 to 4 fold in next 2 years if we cover the whole India. Second is, most of our distribution mechanism is still not automated. So we are trying to see that if we can automate some of this distribution by putting some technology in the shops. So we are working on that right now.